Hey Jay, this is Annie from Alabama. I'm calling back because my last recording didn't quite go through so well. I must have been driving through a bad area. I also listened to your show to and from work. My thing about guns is I fall, I'm very much hard left politically, but this is the one area that I deviate from the traditional left of center politics. I have a gun myself. I started shooting guns when I was 6. I have never stopped. When I was 12, I got a little pink rifle and I started shooting competitively in skeet competitions, and I did pretty well. It was super fun. I also have a semi-automatic handgun that I keep in my car because I do work out of my vehicle. I drive places all day long. Sometimes I'm out late at night. Sometimes I'm in unsafe locations, and it helps me mentally to know that I do have a gun with me for personal protection purposes. I'm also queer and disabled, and I'm dating a black woman. And there are plenty of people down here in southern Alabama that hate my guts. And they are armed to the teeth. And it really makes me feel uncomfortable knowing that people who want me dead are armed and I'm not. So I arm myself. I also have privilege in the sense that I'm a white person. If I were pulled over by the police for a broken taillight and they asked me if I had a gun on my person and I said yes, I would not instantly be shot dead because I look very unassuming. I'm a relatively attractive, tiny white woman. They would not see me as a threat. Also, I don't like the fact that most leftists have no idea about anything about guns. I listen to some other lefty politics podcasts, and when they're speaking about guns, it grates on me because they're speaking from a place of ignorance. They don't know anything about guns. These people were completely taken by surprise when they learned about bump stocks and that you could, in fact, take a semi-automatic weapon and turn it into what was pretty much a machine gun. They didn't know that was possible, not much less legal. I think that is a very dangerous thing, very dangerous thing to be ignorant of. Even if you don't want to engage in gun culture and own a gun, you gotta know a little bit about them just because of the country that we're living in. Also, just on a larger political level, there are lots of times when revolution or political change has only happened because of the disenfranchised being armed. And the one that's coming to mind specifically are the Black Panthers. They were armed, they had guns, and the only reason that they were as successful as they were is because they were armed. Because they scared people. They shook up the status quo. I shouldn't say the only reason they were successful, but this is a large part of why they were successful. When they would see a police officer pull over a black person, they'd pull up right behind him and they'd sit there and just watch. And the cop knew that they were armed. And that knowledge is what let them be so successful in that particular avenue. I just think the fact that we have the white conservatives have all the guns and then the rest of us don't. If shit hits the fan, I want the guns, not them. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. I'd be happy to take other opinions and take criticism on this. And I'd like to hear some other thoughts on it that disagree with me. Thank you so much, Jay.